Okay, some rugby union news to discuss. The former England fullback Mike Brown has announced he will retire at the end of this season. That means he's only got a handful of games left for the Leicester Tigers before he hangs up his boots. On a playing career that started professionally 20 years ago in 2005 when he was a teenager. He's now 39, so 2 decades he's been playing at the highest level in this country and for his country. The majority of his career and where he made his name is at Harlequins between 2005 and 2021. He played a grand total of 351 times for Harlequins, scoring 100 tries, which equivalates to 500 points. That is a very, very good try-to-game ratio for Mike Brown. After leaving Harlequins, he spent a single season up at Newcastle with the Falcons in the 2021-2022 season. He only played 16 games, however, for Newcastle in his spell there, scoring 2 tries, which equivalates to 10 points in rugby. It was in 2023 he signed a 2-year deal with the Leicester Tigers. So far, he has played 32 games with the Leicester Tigers. He scored 8 tries, 40 points, for the Leicester Tigers in that time frame. He may play up to 35 games, fitness permitting, for the Tigers before he retires. That's if he plays every single game that he's eligible for. International level is very interesting. So 2 years into his professional career, he represents England between 2007 all the way up to 2018. He was capped 72 times by England, scoring 13 tries, his last 2 tries coming against South Africa on the tour there, for a grand total of 65 points at Test level. Honours-wise, he's got 3 Six Nations titles with England between 2007 and 2018 and 2 Premiership titles, both with Harlequins. Now, what is interesting, and what I find very interesting, is he was never selected to play for the Lions, which I find really interesting. He was never in the Lions squad. But there we go. That's his playing career sorted out. Now his playing style. And this is where he does divide opinion. He is a bit of a divisive character sometimes with some of his on-field antics. He was a little bit of an irritant, I think is a good way to describe Mike Brown and his playing style. There is no doubt that he was a safe pair of hands at fullback for club and country. Was he the flashiest fullback? No, but was he a safe pair of hands and quite good defensively? Yes, he would not shirk away from a physical challenge with a bigger player, for example. He would get stuck in the rucks and the mauls as well. But he was a bit chirpy, a bit of an irritant. He would get under opposition players' skins. He would be frustrating to play against. You want him on your side rather than against you. He was very, very good at sledging, is a good way of putting it. He would be like a Staffordshire pit bull terrier in a way. He could give out a lot of sledging and a lot of chirps, but he could back that up with physicality. There were potentially better fullbacks, if not better fullbacks, in the Northern Hemisphere at the time, hence probably why he wasn't selected for the Lions. He did see the sin bin more than once as well. He did have a few sin binnings in his career, partly because of his playing style being so combative, abrasive is a good way of putting it, and being an irritant. He sometimes he overstepped the mark in regards to being that irritant, that abrasive style, but there was no doubt on his fitness levels he could run all day long. Sometimes a little bit guilty of not passing the ball in when there were opportunities of overlaps or 2-on-1s. But a very steady pair of hands at the back, very good defensively. And his try record speaks for itself. 110 tries at club level and 13 tries at Test level. I find that 13 tries at Test level a little bit surprising, considering how many tries he did score in the club game, especially with Harlequins. That try per game ratio, 351 club appearances, 100 tries. I mean, that is a really good return for an outside back of the style of play that Mike Brown was. Test level, I am surprised he didn't score more. I am very surprised he did not score more at Test level. And as I say, another surprise, he never played for the Lions, which is a massive surprise. Other players where we've done, career videos on have had Lions call-ups, but not Mike Brown. But there we go. He still has 5 major bits of silverware, including, as I say, 3 Six Nations titles and 2 Premiership titles. A fantastic player, a great servant to the game, whether you like him or not. But many people do say, and I've seen this on social media, they would much rather have him in their side than playing against them. But very, very early on in his career, he was noticed by the Test setup. He did play for the Saxons while a teenager before getting his full call up to the Test side after just being a professional of less than 18 months. So he earned his call up because of his early form at Harlequins, and he was a great servant for Harlequins. And look, he's had 2 short stints at the Falcons and the Tigers, but Harlequins is where he made his name and developed his reputation. There we go. Thank you very much for watching. Please place your thoughts on Mike Brown, the former England fullback, in the comments section below. But from me for now, thank you very much for watching, as I say, and I will have some more content for you all very, very soon.